Hello, Mandarin Adventures. Welcome back to Mandarin Odyssey. I'm Leo, your guide through the intricacies of Mandarin. Today we're going to explore how often sayings happen and how long they last. Let's get started. To discuss how often something occurs, we use frequency words. Common ones include 常常, often, 有时候, sometimes, and 每天, every day. In Mandarin, you can place the frequency words after the subject but before the verb. For instance, 我每天喝咖啡 means I drink coffee every day. As you can see, in English, the order of the sentence is I drink coffee every day. But in Mandarin, the order of the sentence is I every day drink coffee. 我每天喝咖啡 That's because in Mandarin, every day, how often the action happens, we call it a modifier. The modifier comes before the verb, comes before the saying it modifies. It's the opposite from English. Another example can be, I go to Beijing tomorrow. But in Mandarin, the order of the sentence is, I tomorrow go to Beijing. 我明天去北京. It's straightforward once you get the hang of it. As long as you remember the modifier comes before the saying it modifies, before the verb normally. Now let's practice. How do you say, I listen to music sometimes? Very good. It's 我有时候听歌有时候 is the modifier for the action, so it comes before the action. 我有时候听歌 I listen to music sometimes. Now let's talk about duration. Words like 分钟 minutes, 小时 hours, 天 days, 星期 weeks, 年 years. These words help us express how long something lasts. To express duration, we use the structure verb, duration, time word. For example, 我学习了2个小时 I studied for 2 hours. So in this case, 2个小时 for 2 hours is the complement of the action. That's why we put it after the verb, 学习. It's different from the frequency because the frequency is the modifier of the action. Modifier will mean how the action happened, when the action happened, how often the action happened. So it comes before the action. As for how long the action happened, is the complement. That's why I put after the action. 我学习了2个小时. Now let's practice. How do you say, I walked for 1 hour? Very good. 我走了1个小时. I walked for 1 hour. Sometimes you might want to combine frequency and duration for more detailed expression. For example, 我每周运动3次，每次半小时。I exercise 3 times a week, each time for half an hour. See how that works? Let's practice. I will say a sentence in English, and you will tell me the Mandarin translation. Let's go. He reads for an hour every evening. How do you say this in Mandarin? Very good. So it's 他每天晚上看书1个小时。每天晚上 is the frequency, is the modifier for the verb. So put before the verb. In this case is 看。他每天晚上看书。看书 is the verb. For an hour, 1个小时 is the complement of the action. So put after the verb, 看书。他每天晚上看书1个小时。Very good. Fantastic work today, everyone. understanding how to express frequency and duration add steps to your Mandarin conversations. Excuse me. The reason I laughed a little bit is because the little incident that just happened. When I say understanding how to express frequency, my voice cracked a little bit. We say 破音. I think this happens every once in a while when you're trying to make a speech. I just said frequency. I can't imitate again. We call this 破音, like someone's voice cracked a little bit while speaking. Anyway, let's get back on the lesson. Understanding these frequency and duration as steps into your Mandarin conversation, allowing you to share more about your routines and experiences. Keep practicing these structures and don't hesitate to use them in your daily conversation. I'm excited to continue our journey in the next lesson, where we will dive into expressing needs and wants. Until then, happy learning. 再见。